weirdest talk show. Almost every Thursday, but most of the time on other days at 5 p.m. EST on Only Hit.
We are live.
Hi! What is up, everybody? I hope you guys are doing good. Guess what? It is time for the debate show. Are you guys ready? I know I am. Let's get this ball rolling, shall we? All right, Pandas, Sapnap, whatever your name is. Are you there?
I'm here.
Okay. So we have a fun topic for you muffins today, and I think you are going to like it. This is going to be an exciting topic. We have, of course, if any of you guys have never tuned into the show, I'll explain it super simply. Here's how the show works. We take two people, then we pick a topic, a random topic, and we have people debate it. One of us takes one side, one of us takes the other side, and then we clash on the topic. Sides are chosen randomly, and anything we say during the debate is totally just for fun. It's not necessarily our actual opinion. So keep that in mind. You know, if we say anything crazy or bizarre, just keep that in mind. It's not necessarily what we actually believe. Our goal is to defend whatever position we're given to the best of our ability. I think we're good to go. Are you ready, Pandas?
I am ready.
Perfect. Okay. That's very enthusiastic. Okay.
What do you want me? What's wrong with what I said?
I don't know. You're like, I am ready. Okay.
I didn't say it like that. No way.
Say it again.
I am ready. Is that better?
Yes. Let's do it. Are you guys ready? Here we go.
What was the thing? Was it like your internet or your head?
My internet.
Head.
Let's do it. Here we go, guys. All right. The topic today, we thought we would do a topic a little bit more modern, I should say. Something along the lines of, what's the word? Shall we say? You ready? Should we tell them? Okay.
Tell them. Do it.
The topic of today that we're going to do is should self-driving cars be banned? Basically, and this is obviously referring to like Tesla, these self-driving memories. We thought we'd do something modern, talking about technology in the future. And it's an interesting topic because this is one that actually is getting into the realm of something that is actually up for debate. So it's going to be interesting, but I also think this has a lot of cool stuff that we can discuss, right? It's got a lot of different angles, but we're going to randomly pick now who defends side A and who defends side B. So one of us is going to be in favor of banning self-driving cars, and the other is going to take the opposite position, saying, no, self-driving cars are great. Let's make sure we don't ban them. All right, here we go. Are you ready? Now.
I was born ready.
All right, heads, you will be in favor of self-driving cars being banned. Tails, I will be in favor of them being banned, okay?
Okay.
All right, here we go. Let's ask Siri. Hey, Siri, flip a coin.
It's heads.
Heads! So you're in favor of self-driving cars being banned. I am not in favor of them being banned. I am in favor of self-driving cars. All right.
Okay.
Are you ready to go?
I'm ready to smack you around. Yeah.
So what did you just say? You're ready to smack me? Okay, no. I am going to destroy you. I don't know if I'm ready for this topic, but I'm still going to destroy you. Here we go. You ready?
Born ready.
Born ready. Oh, that is it. That is it. We're going down. All right. Before we start the show, I had this idea. Should we get the audience's opinion on the topic before we start, just to see where the audience is currently at? A6D, do you want to run a poll?
Sure.
Okay, go ahead and ask the audience, should self-driving cars be banned? Yes or no? And then we'll just get their initial opinion before we jump into it. And
Okay, they can vote now.
Okay, and we're not supposed to use this at all, Sapnap, in our debate. We can't like reference the poll and be like, well, most of the audience is in favor of my position or whatever. It's totally just to see where people are out.
It's not in the chat, it's on twitch.tv/onlyhus. You have the poll on the top of your screen. And if you cannot see the poll, you can see it on the screen, /vote1 for yes and /vote2 for no.
Everybody look at the poll. So it looks like the poll, majority of people, I would say 85% saying no, it should not, and 14% saying that yes, it should. Now just keep in mind, your goal is, at the end, we're going to do another poll to determine who will win the debate. And remember, you're not voting based on what you actually believe. So if you believe that self-driving cars should or shouldn't be banned, you're not going to vote at the end based on that. You're going to vote based on who defended their position the best. Okay? And remember, anything we say from this point on is not necessarily our actual opinion. It's just us go ahead and defending, etc., etc.
Thank you, Mr. Halo.
All right, let's go. Here we go. Are you ready? Do you want to go first, Pandas? You
If I
never
go-
go first. You go first.
If I go first, I get the last sentence.
Whatever.
correct?
That's fine. Go ahead.
Okay. The way, how self-driving cars are now, they should be banned. Self-driving cars are not ready to be on the roads. And if we were to have self-driving cars be allowed on the roads, many people would most likely die, lose their lives, get in car crashes, money lost at the very least, and more. I'm sure all of you guys have seen the videos of I've seen a video of like the Tesla car driving and with the autopilot on, and it wasn't like, it was like missing sensors for stuff. Like, for example, a lot of Tesla cars don't even have like red lights and stop signs. That there's not software for those, so it'll run straight through those, for example. And I think that in the future, self-driving cars could be allowed, but much farther in the future. There's nowhere ready. They're not ready at all, and therefore they should be banned. That's my opening argument.
Okay. Thank you. All right. Well, I guess I'll go. Okay. I'll keep this short and sweet to the and to the point. So, no one is advocating for bad self-driving cars to be on the road, right? And while the technology is being developed, you're going to have bad self-driving cars, which is why a lot of the cars have human operators behind it. Okay? But that's the thing. No one's advocating us. That's just in case of an emergency. And there have been some emergencies where self-driving cars goofed up. But that is just because they're in the early developmental stages. At some point, we will get out of the early developmental stages and we will get into the point where self-driving cars are substantially more reliable than humans, okay? Than human drivers, okay? So that's something you should all keep in mind, is that right now, self-driving cars are already, even with the hiccups, safer drivers than humans, okay?
Already?
And they're still in just the early stages. At some point, they will be way better than humans. And that's the point that once they're at that point, we would be insane not to legalize them, okay? Not to mandate them almost. Because at that point, they'll be safer than humans. They will be able to drive faster than humans with fewer fatalities. States that ban normal drivers and just allow self-driving cars will have way fewer accidents, way fewer fatalities. And if at some point in the future we don't have to put drivers behind the wheels of like delivery trucks and things like that, then we can drastically decrease the cost of shipping goods and bring down the cost of living for everybody. If you don't have to pay somebody to drive your goods from point A to point B, the cost of your goods can drop drastically, and you can very quickly find a lot of people now have more disposable income because all of their groceries are a lot more cheaper. Okay, there's a ton of benefits to self-driving cars, and just because there are a couple risks right now does not mean we should ban them. All right, that was our opening arguments. Now let's get into the main portion of the debate. Are you ready, pandas?
Like I said many times now, I am born ready.
All right, well, prepare yourselves. All right,
Prepare myself.
let's get right into it.
Why do I need to prepare myself to smack you around? I don't know, it's kind of weird.
All right, pandas. So again, I just don't see your point about banning self-driving cars.
Okay.
Do you want us to ban airplanes too? Because every year a couple of them crash.
Well, bad. I have a question. Right now, would you get a self-driving car, put it on autopilot, and trust it to drive you all the way there?
Yes, I would.
Right now?
Yeah, there are
Right now you
self-driving cars with that capability.
No. One that you can have access to.
What do you mean?
Let's say I go and buy you a Tesla right now. Would you turn on autopilot and trust it to drive you all the way?
I would use it to the fullest functionality that it had.
Would you trust it to drive you all the way home right now?
If it could do that, then yeah, I would.
No. Would you trust it to drive you all the way home right now?
Okay, that's like asking me, would I trust my car to be able to drive into the water and swim like a submarine? Okay, like
No,
if it has that functionality, yes, I would. If it doesn't, then of course not.
Well, then that's my point. These cars don't have that functionality yet. They're not ready.
Yeah, keyword being yet. So why are you harping on it just because it currently doesn't have it?
Because they should not be allowed on roads until they're completely ready.
Okay, and how are you going to test that?
I'm going to test that on private roads.
On private roads? Well, guess what? That's the whole point of having a human behind the wheel. If shenanigans happen, boom, you can correct it.
But what if that human is not ready, or you know what
Then
I mean?
the human should be held accountable just like any other driver would be. Okay? What do you do if somebody's not paying attention and they crash their car into something? You hold them accountable. You do the same thing if the person behind the wheel of a self-driving car, while it's in the testing stages, is not paying attention. Okay? But at some point, pandas, we will reach the point where self-driving cars will be safer than humans, where deaths on the road will be a rarity. Okay? Think about right now how many people drive home drunk. Imagine a future where drunk people can get into their car and have their car drive them home in a safe manner. Have their car, should they lose consciousness and it can't detect a heartbeat or something like that, rather than crashing into a ditch, it drives you to the hospital. Okay? Think about that. You're telling me you want to throw all of those advantages away just because right now there's a couple people who are driving cars there's a couple self-driving cars that have had hiccups and accidents?
I didn't say I want to ban them forever. Possibly a temporary ban until they're more suitable for open roads.
I think already they're more suitable for open roads. Do you know the amount of miles self-driving cars have driven? The amount of deaths is significantly under the same equivalent compared to humans. Okay? So already you would be safer behind the wheel of a self-driving car.
That's interesting. Have you driven a self-driving car?
I have not. Have you?
Yeah, I have.
You have?
Yeah, yes, I actually have.
Okay.
I can tell you
What'd you think about it?
from personal experience that they are nowhere near ready to be driven on roads. It's quote unquote self-driving, but really you're driving the car. Okay, it's nowhere near ready to go. And also, Bad, have you also thought about you mentioned how it's going to cut costs have
Yeah.
these cars drive your goods. Those big trucks buy your goods. But
think about it.
But have you thought about the jobs that it's going to lose those people as truck drivers? You know how many truck drivers are in the United States?
Yeah, that's true. There's going to be a lot fewer jobs after, this becomes super mainstream. New jobs in the truck driving industry won't be created anymore.
They're literally, it's like, imagine all these families that are just like, I'm sure like for a lot of these truck driving families, that's their main source of income. Okay. And you're just going to take it away.
Okay, so when cars were becoming popular, you think we should have just banned those to protect all the saddle makers and the horseshoe manufacturers? We should have protected all the jobs because horses were the main form of travel at the time. Let's stop innovation just because we need to protect certain jobs.
But these horseshoe makers, whatever, they can adapt to new times. See, whenever you're a truck driver and your job gets taken by a robot, how can you adapt? These horseshoe makers, these people who rode the horses themselves, they could adapt. They could learn to drive these cars. These horseshoe makers, because you could use their skills to create
use their skills
cars,
to what? Here's the point. Look, the people who were skilled saddle makers, skilled horseshoe makers, okay? Yes, could those people easily go and adapt to other fields that were similar to the field they were in? Yeah, they can, okay? Just like the truck drivers can do that. Okay, the truck drivers can adapt to certain fields. Now, the truck drivers, it may be that within, 15 years, there's literally no driving jobs available anymore because self-driving has essentially taken over. Okay, but the point is, you don't stop the march of progress because that's going to happen. Okay. Because if you do that, okay, like take horse riding, right? There are still people who ride horses. There's still people who need to make saddles. But is it anywhere near the amount that existed, 100 years ago? No, it's not even close, because the car, once it became more efficient and cheaper to own and more effective than a horse, people switched from horses to cars for their day-to-day travel. People don't use horses to go to the grocery store and things like that in most places. Actually, I'm sure there's exceptions. But the point is,
in Texas, I see people ride their horses to the grocery store.
The point is, what needs to happen is people who are thinking of getting into driving jobs at this point should start rethinking and stop entering that field. And then that way, it's not like all those jobs are going to go away overnight. It's going to be a slow taper off until it reaches a point where there won't be any more truck driving jobs. And that's why nobody at this point should be entering the truck driving field anymore. If your goal is to become a truck driver, I would rethink that. But here's the thing. While, yes, it comes with its own costs, it also comes with a lot of advantages, okay? The main advantage is that if you don't have to pay somebody to stay awake and drive your groceries to the grocery store, then congratulations, you've just drastically decreased your cost of groceries. So think about that. That's the biggest expense of delivering goods, is paying for people to drive the vehicles around. Okay.
Mm-hmm. I think it's a very interesting argument, but I think the thing is about this whole argument that you're overlooking is car rights.
Car rights? What did you just say?
Car rights. I think all cars are equal, and I think that if you're just not caring about these other cars, they want to be driven bad. You think they want to sit in the garage and get dust and slowly wither away. And you're talking about a world where states are going to ban, cars that aren't self-driving, and I think that's ridiculous. I think that every car is created equal, regardless of technology that they can't control being injected into them. And I think all cars deserve to be driven, because I'm a strong advocate for car rights, because car lives matter.
Wow, car lives matter. Did you actually just say that?
Yeah.
Okay. Cars are not people. They do not have rights the same way that humans do. Okay.
That's probably what people said about women in the 1900s.
Cars. Did you seriously just degrade women's suffrage by comparing it to cars?
No, I'm just saying that people.
Did you actually do that?
People didn't think women should have rights way back then, and now cars.
So you're saying women's rights are equal to car rights? That's what you're saying.
No, I'm saying that
are women cars to you?
Cars are also very important.
Okay, what does that have to do with women's rights?
Well, I'm just comparing it. That we need to think about car suffrage.
No, pandas. There is no comparison between women's rights and car rights. Okay, women are not cars.
I never said women were cars.
Yes. Oh my goodness, you said what about women's suffrage?
No. I was just comparing suffrage.
Comparing suffrage what?
Bad.
Between a car and a human?
I'm sorry that I was advocating for car rights, and you don't think cars have feelings. So I mean, it's just interesting how you've flipped the script on me right now.
Flipping the script. You just said car rights are like women are. So let me get this straight.
Like
cars. Cars.
I said, no.
Let me explain myself. I will go on this train of thought with you. Let's go down your crazy train.
Let me explain myself. You said cars shouldn't have rights, okay? And I said, well, people didn't think women should have rights in the 1900s.
Oh my gosh!
I wasn't comparing.
People treating women like property is nothing equivocal to a car, which is actual property, being property, okay?
Wait, that is. Did you say women are property?
No, you're the one who
What did you just say, Bad?
You are absolutely muffiny insane. Okay, listen. Okay? I'm going to explain this to you, you little muffin head.
Okay.
Let's go down your crazy train rabbit hole, and let's assume let's say your whole argument is cars' rights. Okay, let's just assume you're not totally, absolutely muffiny insane for saying this. Okay, if anything, self-driving cars is more in favor of car rights than having human oppressors oppressing the cars and driving them around. Cars should be able to drive themselves in the way they want to, and giving them that autonomy is important.
Well,
so yes, I support car rights, and I support it in the way that I think cars should be self-driving.
No, you don't. You're cars. You think the new and hip cars should be, allowed on the road. So you don't think these old cars that, want to be driven should be, because you said that you think at a certain point only self-driving cars should be allowed, and that is carist, Bad. That is very clearly carist, because you think one car is superior to the other, when I think all cars are created equal.
Pandas, you literally compared women to cars.
No, look. That's what you're backtracking on, because I'm beating you with this carist idea, because I have this progressive idea.
You're crazy. What in the world? Okay, listen. Pandas. Okay. I'm literally, I can't even. You've totally entered Crazy Town.
I've entered Crazy Town.
You've entered Crazy Town.
No, it's not that crazy to believe that.
Why should cars have rights? Can cars think? Can cars feel?
Why shouldn't cars have rights, Bad? Okay, you just want to withhold rights from things? Huh?
Okay, so then because in a car,
like things having rights.
Okay, so then in a car,
women in cars.
No. You just said I want new cars on the road, but I don't want to allow these old cars on the road. So you basically, by your logic, let's follow your logic for a little bit. No. You said that I didn't want old cars on the road. So listen, think about it like this. You are basically saying that you want people to continue to force cars to take them where the people want them to go. Okay, that's what you're saying. I said you're now saying you want people to take cars where they want them to go, whether or not the cars want to go that way, okay? If anything, I say freeing these cars from constant labor, from having to drive humans around or being driven by humans. We need to end this. We need to end this constant discrimination. We need to liberate cars, giving them the autonomy and the ability to drive themselves without having a steering wheel, which is basically controlling and manipulating the cars. I demand car freedom. Freedom for all cars. We need to outfit all old cars with self-driving technology, keep them on the road, keep them modernized, give them equal car health care. Everybody gets free car health care. That's what I'm saying. I say, Pandas, you are the one who wants to keep cars enslaved. It is you, good sir.
You know what's interesting, right, about your whole thing? The thing about your whole car slavery act here is that having these cars self-drive themselves is the most slavery thing you could do to these cars, because once you're taking away these cars' free will, because they have no control over where they're driving. You're making these self-driving cars drive ridiculously long distances away from their home, away from mommy car and daddy car, delivering these packages. So, and they have no control.
So you just want to
turn around?
So what? You just want to say, let's not let anyone drive cars? What are we going to do with all the cars?
Done.
They will rust and go to junkyards. You are in favor of a car genocide. You want us to kill all cars. Admit it.
This is becoming worse and worse at every sentence.
Huh?
This is becoming worse and worse at every sentence.
No. It's getting better. Bad. You know what I saw you doing?
What?
I saw you beating up a car that couldn't defend itself with a baseball bat not too long ago.
Really?
Yeah, because it wasn't self-driving, it wasn't smart enough for you. Do you see how your carist ideals are very bad and harmful for these poor little cars that miss mommy car and dad
Pandas. Every day, 1,000 cars are destroyed in accidents by being driven by reckless humans. We need to end this disparity. Allow cars to self-drive themselves. Save the lives of over 1,000 cars a day by allowing cars to drive themselves where they want to go.
Yeah, except they don't decide where they want to go, so therefore they're not going where they want to go. Are they bad?
By donating,
does that make sense, huh?
By donating 30 cents a day, you can support up to 50 cars to help convert them to self-driving cars so that they can support and drive themselves. Look at this car.
By the humans and told where to drive and have no freedom. Now,
this car does not have self-driving capabilities, and it is driven by this gentleman, Pandas. And Pandas is a bad driver. Every day, this car is constantly put in danger. End this reckless and senseless violence. Support self-driving cars. Thank you.
For 30 cents a day, you can prevent people like BadBoyHalo from telling their self-driving cars to go wherever they want.
You're the conductor driving this crazy train. I just hopped on board, okay?
No. I just merely put it on the tracks and you put the coal into the fire to make the crazy train go.
Our trains are steam-powered. They don't burn coal.
Well, actually, my trains are self-driving trains. So.
Anyway, okay, so... we're going to take a song break. Pandas is clearly off his rocker, so...
Oh, my rocker.
We will be right back.
And we are live.
Hey! We are back. Hi, everybody. All right, Pandas, are you ready to continue?
I think I could possibly be ready, you carist animal. Anyways. Okay. While I do believe in car rights, unlike Bad does, I think we should maybe try and take this a more serious route, as many people might prefer. Agreed, Mr. Halo?
Not not necessarily. Would you just say?
I think we should start taking this a bit more seriously.
Oh, now you want to take it seriously.
Well, sir, I gave out my ideas for car rights, and you completely bashed it. You completely threw car rights into the dirt and spit on it. But it's fine. We can take this down a more serious right, sir.
Okay. I mean, I'm down with that. All right. So let's get serious.
Let's talk about the loss of jobs that would come from the implementation of an unready economical society for self-driving cars. Sir.
Okay.
Explain how.
Explain what?
How the economical society that we are in, sir, is not ready for self-driving cars, sir.
Sir.
Are you what are you saying? Are you saying you don't think it is?
Yeah. According to my statistics that I went and did during the song break, I was totally not singing along to the song.
Yeah, it definitely wasn't.
The economy is not ready for self-driving cars because many jobs will be lost, and it'll be the worst trade deal that the United States had ever seen. Essentially.
Essentially.
Makes sense to you, sir?
No, it doesn't. I have no idea what you're saying.
Then prove me wrong. Because right now, I'm spitting facts, and you're not proving these facts wrong.
Sir.
Sir.
Okay. Well.
Sir.
I took AP macroeconomics in my senior year of high school.
Okay. I'll explain this from an economic standpoint, Mr. Macroeconomics, good sir. Okay, listen. Your groceries, when your groceries are delivered to your house, do you know the stages in which they are? Okay.
Yeah.
I'll tell you.
No, can I say them first, and then you correct me if I'm wrong?
No. Pretty much every step of the process, okay, things are moved from factories, moved to production plants, moved to storage facilities, moved to warehouse. Even the packages that you order off of Amazon are delivered from warehouses to shipment centers and everything. All along that process, okay, those trucks are driven by people, okay? People are expensive, especially paying people to transport goods long distances is expensive. Okay, it costs money. That's the number one expense in transporting goods. It's not fuel. It's not maintenance on the vehicle. It is the cost of paying a human being to sit behind the wheel of a car. Okay, that is the most expense. Okay, that is the largest expense. If you remove that by turning self-driving cars or replacing all of the normal cars with self-driving cars, you drastically bring down the cost of goods and services, okay? You might even cut the cost of the average grocery or the average thing by like 20 or 30%. If your bill for any good or thing you bought at the store, okay, was dropped every month, your expenses by 20 or 30%, because now they don't have to pay people to ship it, that would be a drastic increase in the amount of money you had to spend on something else. You now take that money that you would have spent just to feed yourself for the month or to pay on groceries or necessities that you buy from the store, and you can now spend it on other things, okay? It's a cost saving. You now end up saving money because you spent less money on this one thing, so you have more money to spend on other things. So the cost of living goes down. You now have to spend less money. And guess what? That will permeate everywhere else in the economy. Big things like lumber that is used to build houses, bags of cement, are all really expensive to ship because they're really big, they're really heavy, and you have to pay someone to drive them from point A to point B. If you don't have to, then guess what? All of a sudden houses become cheaper. Things that are built with those resources become cheaper. All of these things become cheaper, and that trickles down to everybody. Everybody gets the advantage. Yes, you will have people who will be laid off. There's no doubting that, okay? But the point is, this whole self-driving thing is coming whether we want it to or not, okay? And this automation is coming whether we want it to or not. And simply trying to slow it down to protect certain jobs is not going to benefit us in the long run. You know what states tried that? There's still a couple states in the United States that won't let you pump your own gas. They require you to have somebody else pump it for you. You know why they do that? Because they were trying to protect jobs, okay? But instead, all they did was keep gas prices higher and more expensive because now those gas stations had to pay to keep somebody there to do something that most people can do for themselves. So yes, this will benefit the economy in the long run, not your slow-minded viewpoint that this is going to kill jobs and therefore it'll hurt the economy. Nope. That value is just going to go from one place to somewhere else in the economy. So there.
Sir, let me explain to you a concept I learned in macroeconomics during my studies, my long, harsh studies. I learned that whenever you take away the money from said consumer, okay? In this case, it would be the consumer would be the truck driver, because the truck driver would usually be the consumer, but he is no longer the consumer because he no longer has any cash, per se. Okay? You following my drift? Now, we take away this consumer's cash. This consumer can no longer spend money on goods and services, sir. So, if you know anything about economics, you would know that whenever you spend money, that dollar amount that you're spending goes into the GDP, into the the total GDP more than that. Like, say I spend $1, it's going to be maybe $5 worth total that goes to the GDP. Because whenever that guy spends that dollar, the guy who got that dollar takes that dollar and he spends that dollar, and the guy who got that dollar and spends that dollar and that dollar gets spent, and so on and so forth. Right? So if you take away a whole group of people's main income, then the GDP is going to be hurt significantly. Let's see, how many truck drivers are in the U.S.? How many truck
something like
drivers
15 million
are in the U.S.? 3.5 million. Okay. What's the average salary of a truck driver in the U.S.? It says here an hourly. Let's just, whatever. I'm going to go off this ad. It says it makes 70. Okay. They make $60K a year, roughly. So let's open up my calculator here and let's do 60,000 times 3.5 million. 3.5 0.00000 equals. I don't even know what this number is. I can't read this number off the top of my head. I'll post it in the chat. This is how much money we're losing right then and there. And then once you take into account that the amount of stuff they buy and the amount of stuff people buy with the money that what they buy, then you get a ridiculous sized number of amount of money you're wasting.
But you realize that all of that amount of money, okay, that amount of money.
Yeah, I get it. That amount of money would be saved. But you're not taking into account how
that amount of
the money works towards the GDP once they spend it and the other guy spends it.
What you're not taking it into account is, yes, those truck drivers will not have income, right? But that also means that we are not paying for a service that we don't need, okay? And therein lies the advantage. You have a cell phone, right?
No, I don't.
You have a cell phone, right?
No, I don't. I use a tablet.
Oh my goodness. You have a cell phone.
How do you know I have a cell phone?
Because you've told me you have a cell phone.
What type of cell phone? Anyway, I digress.
You have a cell phone.
Do you believe I have a cell phone?
Do you know that cell phones can do and have apps for a ton of things that you would have otherwise had to pay people to do in the past? Okay, take graphic editing software. Okay, that used to be something that if you wanted even simple graphics done or simple things like that done, you would have to pay somebody to do that. Now there are certain programs where people can do simple basic graphic stuff where they don't have to pay somebody to do that, okay? And you can see that example again and again. As technology advances, there are certain jobs that get undercut and are gotten rid of because we develop new technologies that can do that thing faster or cheaper or for less labor without requiring human intervention. And the benefit of that gets passed down to us. We save money because of that, okay? Take, for example, advances in farming that have allowed us to grow a substantially higher amount of food per acre, okay? Are we going to say that, growing more food is bad? Like, that's ridiculous. Oh, well, we're not going to have as much of a need for farmers. Do you know back in the day, like 90% of people farmed, and now it's less than 1% of people are farmers, and we grow more food? We lost all those farming jobs. Is that bad? No, it's not, because all those people went and did something else, which benefited our economy because it was no longer economical to have that many people farming. We don't need 90% of people farming, and we don't need those people, or we won't once truck driving, self-driving technology has advanced far enough. We won't need that many people driving trucks, and we will all reap the benefits of that, including the people who we're thinking, you know what, I'm going to go into the truck driving field, who will now say, you know what, I'm going to switch to something else, okay? And it's not like all of those jobs will be gone overnight. They won't. It's going to be a sloping curve where over time, maybe over like 10 years, we'll go from having 3 million truck drivers to no truck drivers, but it's not going to be overnight 3 million jobs lost. No, it's going to be a bunch of them are going to retire. A bunch of them that just entered the field will switch to other fields and things like that, okay? So stop it that this is some economic collapse that's going to be thrust upon us because 3 million truck drivers are out of business. No, if anything, it's going to be a big economic savings because now we don't have to spend all of that money just transporting things around. We'll save so much of it. Okay.
Sorry, I just got back from home was talking to me. Can you repeat all of that for me again?
Anyway, very funny. Okay. So, any other arguments you have that you'd like me to dismantle, sir, with a macro degree in macroeconomics?
Sir, I have a macaroni degree in macaroni-onomics, and I don't think anything you just said made a lot of sense to me. I think I was much more correct. I think that, from a carist point of view, that maybe that might work for you. But I just...
So what do you want? Do you want people to oppressively drive their vehicles around?
No.
Is that what you want, you carist?
No, I envision a world where all cars are driven, regardless of their technological advancements that are in them. I think every car deserves to get the key put inside them and the ignition turned a little bit and get driven down the road. Obviously, you don't think so.
Driven by a human. You don't want them to have the right to drive themselves. I see. I think we know where you really stand. Anyway, let's do closing arguments since we've hopped back on the crazy train again. Okay. All right, I'll go first since... No,
it's I go, then you go, then I go, right?
Fine, you go. Go ahead.
Guys, please do not vote for this carist animal. He believes that that only the most intelligent cars should be driven, and I think that is quite ridiculous. I think every car deserves to get driven. I think every car deserves its steering wheel to be turned left and right down the roads with the windows down, with a dog hanging its head out the window. I think that lots of money would be lost. A lot of people lose their jobs if you just had driving cars all over the road. And I think that, every car should be driven. What's going to happen to these big trucks that want to be driven? They're just not going to be driven anymore. It's going to be very sad, and they're going to rust, and then they're going to get crushed into scrap metal that's going to be used for toilets, for all I know. I don't know. There's just a lot better ways we can do this. Please don't be a carist animal. That's my closing argument.
Thank you, good sir. All right, everybody. Here's the deal. Okay. Pandas presented presented a lot of good arguments, but at the end of the day, they are all about as deep as a pond after a light rain. In other words, they're not very deep at all. Okay.
Say something.
It's closing arguments, sir.
Sorry.
So at the end of the day, his economics argument doesn't make any sense. If we were going to go with the jobs protectionist argument, we would have banned farming equipment back in the day because it's going to take farmers' jobs because we'll have less need for farmers because one farmer will be able to grow the same food as 100 farmers. So this idea that we need to protect jobs or that this is going to damage the economy is ridiculous. It's not. It's going to benefit the economy, and we're all going to experience the benefits. Also, his idea that all of these old cars we have are just going to get tossed in the car dump is ridiculous. And I would go so far as to say, good sir, carist of you to think that old cars can be repurposed at a very, very low cost to be self-driving cars. And believe it or not, the technology for that actually already exists. So we don't need to go and scrap all of our old cars. With my idea of implementing car care for all, we will be able to upgrade all of the oldest cars to be able to self-drive themselves. They will no longer be oppressed by the humans of today. They will instead have the right to drive people themselves without being forcefully steered by a cruel and criminal wheel around where they don't want to go. They will have the right to choose themselves. And that is why I say support self-driving cars, support them. Car rights 2020.
Sir. This is, I'm about to do my closing sentence. I wrote this out. Sire, sir, and madam, I do not think it is fair for you to throw these economic terms at me when you do not have a degree in macaroniomics, as do I. You do not understand the economic repercussions that will come from implementing your carist ideas upon all cars. Please, guys, rethink what Sire, Sir, Madam BoyHalo is thinking. Thank you for your time. Car rights.
Good sir. Good sir. I do not think it is your degree.
Sir, you're not allowed to talk anymore.
It's not your degree that is macaroni.
Sir, you are not allowed to talk anymore.
Your brain is macaroni.
Sir, you're not allowed to talk anymore. I have a degree right behind me that says
good sir.
Macaroniomics.
Sir, can you both shut up?
I object, good sir. Chomped. All right, everyone. Thank you for joining us for this memery debate. We are going to post a poll just in the chat. Everybody get ready to vote. Go ahead and drop it. E60. Who won, everybody? Remember to vote for the person who you thought defended their argument the best, not necessarily who you thought or who you like the most. So just vote for who you thought defended their point the best.
And here we go. You can vote. The poll is just right here. You have 2 minutes to vote. /vote 1 for Bad, /vote 2 for Sapnap, and /vote 3 for Ty.
Well, and while they are voting, that was fun. You took us for
what's fun about dismembering car rights?
You took us for an interesting ride on the crazy train.
I should put a song just to avoid that you just break the result by trying to argue again. Because I feel like that's what Sapnap is gonna do.
No. Don't just ignore anything we say from this point, guys. This show we're just gonna now discuss. So that was fun, I will say. I think this, for how hard the argument is, I think you did a good job. I would have focused more on, I think your strongest argument you made was the jobs one. I think that was probably the best defense. I still don't necessarily agree with it. I think at the end of the day, you and I are both kind of in agreement that being against self-driving cars is kind of crazy. I think you did a good job trying to defend the position. You definitely had the harder position to defend. So kudos to you.
Thank you. So therefore, if I get 25%, I win. Yeah.
No. But I would agree that you do have a macaroni brain, so.
Macaroni. I like macaroni.
Do you want to take a song break while the poll ends?
Who doesn't like macaroni? Sure, let's take a quick song break. We will be right back, everybody.
Monster X, that was follow on Only Hits. And if you want to hear more K-pop, you can on Only Hits K-pop. That's on the website, onlyhit.us. And on Twitch, Only Hits K-pop. Okay, we're back into the Weirdest Talk Show.
Welcome back, everybody. Hello, Slappy Nappy. Did you see the poll results?
Yes, sir. I was disappointed by the poll results, but I did feast my eyes upon.
I think I was surprised. You got a significant amount of support, which is good. I think you defended yourself well in that debate, and it was a hard one. I don't know if I would have been able to win that one. If I had your position. I think you definitely had the hard position.
You would have gotten less votes too, for sure.
I'm sure I would have. It was very good though. But I think at the end of the day though, I definitely think I defended my point the best. I think the poll supports it. So you did good. Excellent work.
Thank you. You too. Excellent work out there.
Anyway, thank you everybody for tuning in. Pandas, is there anything you want to support or promote?
Well, of course it's something I want to promote. I want everyone to go follow me on Twitter right now at TW Sapnap and follow my Instagram. I posted on there. It's Sapnap Insta. And of course, go subscribe to me on YouTube, which is just Sapnap.
All right. Sweet.
Dad, do you know promo? Sure thing.
Yep. Check me out on Twitter at Saints of Games. Also YouTube, Saints of Games. Or Twitter, BadBoyHalo. Just look it up. You'll see me. Anyway, that's pretty much it, everybody. We will see you guys next Thursday and all that good stuff. All right. Bye.
Bye, guys.
You can find the Weirdest Talk Show on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Deezer, iHeart, and pretty much everywhere. The website onlyhit.us as well on YouTube. And CD Scott is coming right now.